everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all good. So in today's video I'm showing you guys this summer holiday vibe acrylic design set, so I hope you guys enjoy watching. I'm working on my Glamerliz practice hand. I do have a discount code for Glamerliz which is always in the description box below, and I've already applied my tips and a clear base, so we're all ready to come in with the design. Now the first nail is going to be a 3-colour ombre, and I'm using all acrylics from CJP. However, this first colour that I'm coming in with is a purple that I mixed myself. So I think this was a mix of bright violet, lilac, lustre and snow white. And then I'm just painting this first colour on, blending out the back of the bead, but I'm just building the colour up in small beads just because I hadn't done a 3-colour ombre in quite a while. And I wasn't quite sure how easy or how hard it was going to be. So I just did each colour quite thin so that if I needed to come in with any more of a particular colour I could without making a too bulky nail. And then next up I'm coming in with a Tooth Fairy. I picked up a teeny tiny bead here, God knows what I was thinking, but then I come in with a normal sized bead. So I'm placing that down, blending out the back of it and then pulling it down over that purple. Now Tooth Fairy has a slight shimmer to it, so I did find it overtook the purple a little bit. So I'm just using my wet brush to wipe away some of that shimmery effect. And then I'm just going to come in with a little bit more just to build up the colour. Like I said, I'm working in wet, thin layers. Always making sure to blend out the back of that bead so that your next colour doesn't have a huge ridge to come over. And then the next colour I'm going to be using is this gorgeous orange shade. This one is called Grand Canyon. So I'm placing that down at the cuticle area. I'm getting a nice neat cuticle, and that's my main focus with this first bead of acrylic. Just nudging that up into that cuticle area and making sure it's nice and neat without touching what would be the skin. And then it didn't really fade down very much, so I just come in with another bead, place that down on top of the previous one, and then I can blend it over my Tooth Fairy to create that ombre effect. I'm loving this colour. I can't believe I've had this a while and I haven't used it before, but it's such a gorgeous colour. It's definitely going to be a good one for summer. So here I'm sort of just looking at my ombre, seeing what's going on, decided that I did need to come in with a little bit more of the pink, and I think I do also come in with, I come in with a little bit more of all of the colours actually, because I'm just trying to perfect the fade between each colour and get it as perfect as I could. So I'm just going to continue touching up the colours where it needs be. And today's video is a little bit longer because I have left in some encapsulation and I also left in the crystal placement just in case you guys wanted to check it out. I thought I would leave it in today's video. So how are you all doing? I hope that you are all keeping safe and well. I was hoping I would get up some more videos, but in all honesty, I've just had no motivation to do hardly anything. But this week I felt like I wanted to do some nails, so hence why I got this beautiful summery set done. And then I also did some vintage gel polish design as well. I haven't recorded a video for that, but I'm thinking of doing a similar design and doing a video on that. So if you'd like to see some more gel polish designs, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because I do notice that my acrylic videos are usually more popular. But anyway, moving on to the pointer finger, I'm doing a reverse smile line. So I'm coming in and creating my extended nail bed first of all, and I'm using a birthday suit from CJP. So I've placed that down, blended out the back of the bead, and then I'm just using my brush to create the shape of that smile line, trying to get as much of the shape done with my brush so I only have to do a little bit of filing to crispen it up. And I wasn't going for a too deep or exaggerated smile line in today's video. I wanted it to be quite natural because I knew I was going to be coming over with some crystals on this nail anyway. I'm really liking the idea at the moment of smile lines with other things going on top of them, so water decals or crystals or foils. So I thought I would do it with crystals today. So then I've come in with my cuticle bead. As you see, I've placed it down at the cuticle area and then just blended it up over that previous bead of acrylic. And here we've moved on to the ring finger because I'm going to allow that nail bed to set before filing it and finishing it off. So I've jumped over to the ring finger and I've placed down a wash of that Grand Canyon. And then I'm coming in with this gorgeous glitter, which is from the Glitter Nail Angel. And this one is called Strawberry Daiquiri. And this is such a gorgeous chunky mixed glitter. Well, it's more of a multi-cut mixed glitter actually, because it has got those smaller hexes in there as well. But I put down a wash of colour just because it hasn't got too many fine pieces, so I can get a nice neat cuticle line with my colour and then come over the top with my glitter. And what I'm basically trying to do is cover the entire nail bed area with the glitter. So the nail bed has full coverage and then I want it to fade out to a glass tip. So I'm focusing on placing most of my glitter on the nail bed area and just gently wriggling it down as I come further down the tip. And then I'll just use my wet brush to nudge around any pieces to get them to where I want them to be so that the fade is appealing to the eye. So as you can see here, I'm just starting to gently work on that fade, tapping on pieces where I want them to be. I'm not picking up any additional acrylic when I tap on small pieces like that. And I'm working on top of pre-pinched stiletto tips. I'm making sure that I get those glitter pieces right round to each side because otherwise you'll end up with some gaps. And then we're moving on to the little finger, which is going to be quite a simple ombre. So I'm coming in with Grand Canyon at the tip of the nail. As you can see, I'm just placing that on and painting it down towards the free edge. And I'm coming up further up the nail, as I'm building up my colour. So I'm blending out the back of that bead and then pulling it down right to the very tip of the nail. This probably would have been enough at this point, but I hadn't blended out the back of my bead as well as I wanted to. So I do just come in with another bead so I can place that down and blend out the back of it. So I did actually then just place a little bit more at the tip because I wasn't fully happy with the coverage there. It just looked a little bit translucent, so I just thought it was best to pop a little bit more on. So here you'll see I just picked up a wet bead of acrylic and faded it back, just because you don't want to put your nude over a harsh line. It works much better when doing an ombre if the first colour you've put down is really blended out and there isn't that harsh line for you to work over. And whenever I'm doing a ombre, I always leave that first colour to set first before coming over the top with my second colour. So I've just left that Grand Canyon to set and I've moved back to the pointer finger. So off camera, I give the smile line just a little bit of a file to crisp it up. And then here, right around the edges of that smile line, I'm coming in with Grand Canyon. It doesn't matter if it overlaps over your smile line because it will all file away and reveal the crisp line that you've created after anyway. So I'm placing down the Grand Canyon first of all, and then I'm going to be doing a bit of a marble tip. It was quite a loose marble. Like I said, I knew I was coming over this nail with crystals, so the marble didn't need to be perfect. It was just a bit of I just wanted a bit of colour there. So I've done the Grand Canyon, then I've come in with my purple mixed, then Tooth Fairy, and then the Grand Canyon again. As you can see, they're really wet beads and I'm just swirling my brush through them because I wanted this to be quite a loose, not defined marble, if that makes sense. And then I just continue doing this until the entire tip of the nail is covered and I'm happy with how the marble looks. Again, it doesn't really matter if you overlap these colours over that nail bed area because once you file all of the nail in, you'll reveal your crisp smile line. I'm just sort of swooshing my brush through them colours until they've sort of just run together a little bit. And then we're going to jump back to our little finger and finish off the ombre. So I'm placing the birthday suit right down where that orange finishes and just fading it down over the orange. I loved how birthday suit and Grand Canyon went together. These two colours, just like a match made in heaven, and they made a really The ombre was really simple to do. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Then I'm coming in with my cuticle beads. As you can see, I'm just tapping and nudging that up into the cuticle area and then blending it down over the previous bead of acrylic. And then I'm just going to come in with a tiny bit more of birthday suit at this side of the nail, just because I wasn't 100% happy with how the colour faded out there. So just like with the ombre now, if you aren't happy with your ombre 100%, you can come in with either of the colours to perfect it. So now that all of the design work is finished, we're ready to come in and encapsulate all of the nails. So I've just run over the nail with my wet brush. I just find my clear acrylic glides on are much better if I've just got a slightly wet base. So just give it a quick run over with my monomer, and then I'm coming in with my crystal glass from CJP and encapsulating the entire nail. I work slightly wetter when I encapsulate, especially when doing a glass nail, just because then the acrylic runs and glides down the nail without you having to do too much faffing and touching of it. When you're doing a glass nail, the more you touch and play around with the acrylic, the more bubbles you seem to put into it, which can ruin the effect, obviously, if you're trying to get that crystal glass see-through effect. So I just continue encapsulating all of that glitter. I'm also building up my apex here with this bead here. So as you can see, I'm tapping that up into the cuticle area, but then leaving the bulk of the product there just to build up my apex. And then I'll look at the nail from all angles, and I felt as though the center of the nail just needed a little bit more acrylic. So I come in with another bead of clear and just blend it back and then pull it down the nail. Now I did the rest of the capping off camera because I do it all exactly the same. And then after I'd capped all of the nails and allowed them to set, I did file them all off camera as well. So just filed and contoured them all into shape, gave them a buff with my white buffing block, scrubbed away all of the dust, and we're now ready to apply some crystals. So I'm only applying crystals to the pointer finger. And here I'm just coming in with some jewelry gel, and I'm just applying this roughly where I want my crystals to be. And I'm applying a nice thin layer because all of the crystals I'm using today are flat back ones. So you only need that thin layer of jewelry gel. And then whilst that's still wet, I'm going to come over the top with my CJP Tack Free Top Gloss. Again, a nice thin, even layer of this. And then I'm going to leave this wet and place my crystals into that wet gel mixture. And the crystals I'm using today are from the Crystal Studio. So I'm using some of their mixed size ABs, and then I'm also using some of their larger ABs as well. I don't 100% know the names of the sizes because I had a pack of their mixed size ABs, and then I also had a pack of their two other larger sizes, and I just mixed them all together because I quite like having just them all mixed together when it comes to flat back ABs. So when I'm doing little trails and placements like this, I can just tip a few out, as you can see there on my desk, and pick up whichever size I need. And I've placed that large one down, and I'm sort of just working down each side from that, getting the crystals to go out a little bit smaller in size as we get up near the cuticle area. And then I'm going to do exactly the same coming from the other direction up towards the free edge. So I'll just let you guys watch because there's not a lot I can say through the crystal placement. And then once I had finished applying all of the crystals, I decided to come in with some caviar beads because I just wanted the trail to look really in your face and blingy. And I just felt like just adding those few caviar beads into a lot of the little gaps just really helped achieve that. So again, I'm just placing them into that wet gel we've got down. nudging them around. This is what I like about working with the crystal gel, or the jewelry gel, sorry, is you've got plenty of time to move the crystals around until you're happy with how they're placed, because they're not going to set in place until you pop the nail into your LED lamp. So I'm just faffing and nudging them around until I'm happy with how they all are. And then I will pop them in my LED lamp to cure for 60 seconds, because you want to make sure that that LED light really penetrates through that gel and all around those crystals and sets them in place. And then this is what the nail looked like. And I'm then going to come in with 2 of these palm tree water decals. These are from Charlie's Nail Art, and I do also have a discount code for Charlie's, which is always in the description box below. But yeah, I just wanted to add these. I wanted this set to have full-on holiday vibes, because I would much rather be on a beach right now than at home. So I've soaked these in some water for 10 to 15 seconds. Then they easily pull off the back of the backing paper, and then I'm just placing them down onto the nail, and then I can just faff around and nudge them into place until I'm happy with where they are. This is a little tricky with tweezers, to be honest. I find them a lot easier to nudge around with a wooden stick or just my finger, to be honest. And then I always leave these a minute or 2 to dry. You can also use a cotton pad or a sponge to dab off any excess water, but I try to wipe them on the back of my gloved hand before placing them, so that there isn't too much excess water anyway. I'm then going to come in and top coat all of the nails with my CJP tack free top gloss. So I'm just applying a nice even layer of this to all of the nails. Now I'm not sure if I do it in this video, I don't think I do, but usually if I'm applying water decals I will double top coat. To be honest, I don't always do it when I'm working on my Glamerliz hand, but if I'm doing them on myself I would definitely double top coat, just because it gives you that extra layer and ensures that they last the entire duration of the set. I do the same if I'm stamping or using foils. Anything that's sort of on the surface of the nail I will double top coat over. So then when it comes to the glass nail, you can also see here I'm just top coating underneath as well, just so that you can get that full-on transparent look. And then once I have top coated all of these, I'll pop them in my LED lamp to cure for 60 seconds. And then guys, that is the end of the design. I have left a clip showing the set from a couple of different angles so you can really check it out. I was really pleased with how these turn out. They really made me feel like I was ready to go on holiday. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, then please don't forget to like and comment below. If you're watching and you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would absolutely love it if you considered subscribing. And I shall see you all again very, very soon in the next video. Lots of love. Bye bye.